All right, all right, all right. Good morning. Morning, Scotty. Morning, Tom. Morning, Charlie. Yeah, we're snowed in, dude. Well, I say snowed in, but Charlotte just posted they got 11 inches, and I think Cubs said we had about 5 yesterday. So, take it for what it's worth. I don't know. It's deep enough to where it's over the dogs. I don't, I don't think we got it 11 inches, but I don't know. I didn't go out and measure either. I will say that Columbus got 12 last Sunday. Yeah, you guys got some more the other over the this weekend too. Um, but I don't know the snowmageddon. I didn't really prepare for it like some of the people did. You know, I mean, I got my battery stuff to make sure we have, uh, you know, charging stuff, but that's it. Food, the freezer's slap full, so excuse me. Freezing temps overnight, but in the 50s and 60s. We're supposed to get up into the 40s, and I thought I saw the maybe almost 50 by the end of the week. So, it'll start melting, and then Columbia will start complaining because they're flooded out, and because everything around this area drains to Columbia, which is about 45 minutes south of us. So, but I will say that my wife, since she had shoulder surgery, that was the most she's been outside. And probably, what is this now? Probably 4 months. Like, she kept coming in, getting bundled up, like cooling, like warming up, and then she'd go back out. And she kept saying that she was trying to get our new dog, to go to the bathroom because she hates outside. So she wasn't going to go. And, the wife kind of was like, we'll take her for a walk. But it was, she kept going out to play in the snow is what it was. And then Kay was up in the mountains, and she was sending pictures of, she was out playing in it too. So, but, so while I get this heated up, Cub, you want to talk about your experience in the snow?
It's cold and icy.
Cold and icy.
And I stayed inside all day.
She did.
I used the leaf blower this morning now. Tried to leaf blower the driveway.
So she got out my leaf blower that I got for Christmas. And we tried it yesterday because my wife kept saying, try it. And because it was a powdery snow, it was light. I was able to blow some of the loose stuff up on top with the blower. But then underneath it was all the ice, and yeah, that wasn't so good. So, Mandy, you didn't get anything? Woo. Well, and I don't know if it's because of the two lakes, because you got Lake Hartwell right there in the mountain range, and then the lake, and then you go into Lake not Norman, Lake Wiley. So you got Lake Hartwell, then to the east of it, you got Lake Wiley. So maybe that's what diverted it.
Your lakes are wrong, Dad.
Huh?
Your lakes are wrong.
Yeah, but Lake Hartwell coming across 85 between Atlanta and, so you got Lake Hartwell, then you got Lake Wiley that comes down. So the two lakes with the barometric pressures and stuff would push that farther up and around, and then we have the mountains on our side of Lake Norman, so it would funnel between the two lakes. It makes sense in my head, which is scrambled eggs. So y'all understand what I'm saying. Just 15 minutes of flurries. Wow. Yeah, the picture that I took was yesterday evening, about 4 o'clock, and since then the sidewalk was completely dry. There was no snow on it, and now there's probably a good inch or so on the sidewalk. So we got more overnight, but so this morning I'm going to try to recreate. Well, I'm not going to recreate because I don't have all the elements, but I have some of the elements of this. It was I went to this place called First Watch, and went with some of my F3 guys, and we had in the breakfast that I had, I got a smoked salmon and roasted veggie frittata. Now, they didn't really go into a whole lot of what the veggies were, but what I got was grilled onions and roasted tomatoes. And then it had like Parmesan cheese in it. And so I don't have smoked salmon. And really, to buy a big fillet, a big fillet just for this little dish was a little crazy. When I had pink salmon in the can, so I'm not gonna smoke it. I could add a little bit of liquid smoke and try to smoke it, give that flavor, but I'm not going to. I've got some onions and I got some bacon grease, so we're gonna do that. Get those going. My pan here. I decided because today is the 1st of February that might as well use the old heart pan, huh? Try to get to it before old honey badger does. That feller. Well, so a lot of times him and I don't talk about what we're going to do.
Right.
But a lot of times he'll use a pan or make something that I'm like, dang it, that's what I was going to do. So, yeah. So I'm just going to do that. Get these going. Get this swirled around a bit. And I haven't used this pan in a while. But yeah, First Watch, it's not a bad place. I really don't mind it. It's just a little more expensive than the mom and pop diners that I usually go to. And the coffee's kind of like a Starbucks coffee, so it's a little heavier roast. But all in all, it's not bad. They do have their own cookbook, and they have the veggie hash is my favorite. Ooh, I'll have to look into that one. They do have a cookbook and like their own coffees, so you can buy the coffee or the cookbook if you're so inclined. So I know, right? I just set the onions in like this. I'm going to knock them down in a minute, but I just wanted to hear the sizzle and kind of start the process. So, yeah. Let's see. Perfect time to cold smoke some salmon. It is. The idea of getting out and firing up the grill, not so much a thing for me right now. I'm more of a fair weather barbecuer, I guess. Because really, you see the memes that has the well, you can't cook in this weather, and then it shows Brad Pitt in the Troy movie where he's Achilles, and he's like, that's why nobody will know your name. Man, nobody knows your name anyway. I'm like, nobody really cares that you went out and cooked in the rain. And so it's just for shock factor, I think. or just to say you did it. There was plenty of people that were out in the snow yesterday. I mean, the airport shut down. That's how bad it was. And these people are like, I need vanilla extract. Well, you were at the store and you got all this bread and milk to make your milk sandwiches, but I figured out it was really for French toast. They just won't tell you that. But
milk sandwiches is your better option.
Well, they always tell you to go get your bread and your milk, your staples and eggs. Yeah. And when we were at the store, there was no juice. All the juices were gone.
So your conclusion was milk bread?
Yes. But then I was like, wait a minute.
So just soggy bread that tastes like milk?
Yes. What kind of sandwich is that?
Disgusting.
Exactly. So I concluded they were doing French toast. Because that makes more sense. Makes you happy. Comfort food. Bread puddings. Okay. I see it now. I'm all in it.
I'm glad you see it.
But I'm going to add a little bit of salt to my onions. Yeah, a little bit of black pepper. Maybe a lot of black pepper. There we go. But anyway, I guess people there don't know how to drive in the snow. No, Charlie, the last time we got anywhere close to this much snow,
We don't know how to drive in
I was thinking it was like
2009.
2009 maybe.
That was the last. We had a lot of snow. Right, Mom?
And
2009.
when that happened, I was stuck at the plant for 3 days because they wanted to make sure they put us up in a hotel right around the corner, and to make sure that the plant ran, and for safety, they didn't want people driving in 30, 40 minutes in this kind of stuff, and they had to make sure the plant ran. So they put us up in a hotel around the corner and paid for our food and all that, but the only thing that was open was a gas station. So you were living off of gas station hot dogs and cold beer. Not bad, but at the time, after a few days, it gets kind of old. And you're looking at the same guys that you just spent, like you're down in the lobby drinking beer, and you're like with the same guys that you just got done working a 12-hour shift with for 3 days straight. So it was kind of still boring. But anyway. Huh?
I had to clean my room.
Oh. So Cub actually got some good news this week.
I got my braces off.
Talk a little louder.
I got my braces off.
Yep, she got her braces off.
And I got my retainers.
Store didn't have any aged milk, beer, and fresh veggies. Dude, the fresh veggies were toast, man. There was nothing. Ours was slim pickings. Like, I went and got onions and tomatoes for this, and it was slim pickings. And my tomatoes, I had to go through this morning. I got them like 2 days ago, and which is probably really realistically like 5. But I had to go through my tomatoes and pick out the good ones because they were bad. So, but I will say I'm not pulling a Scotty and going out in single digits or below to fire up a smoker. And I keep all mine in the garage, so mine, if I had a pellet grill, it would probably still fire up. Had Kroger deliver groceries. So Cub ordered sandwiches last night. I don't know where, I forget where from, but she ordered sandwiches, and DoorDash sent her the picture of them picking it up, and then she got another message saying that the order was canceled. So I asked her, what does that mean? She said, they took my sandwich. They liked what they saw and kept it. So I just thought maybe it was a storm, but they said no, that they wouldn't have picked up the order from the restaurant if they had planned to deliver it or had not planned to deliver it. Not committed to the barbecue journey. You're right. I've done that, Tom. I've done the barbecue journey. I've done the cooking in weather you shouldn't. And you know what? Boiled down to, I thought, man, I'm going to be like this really cool barbecue guy. I cook in all types of weather and hurricanes and whatever. And really, nobody remembers that unless it's a Instagram memory or Facebook memory. Couple say, you remember that time we had the hurricane and you fired up ribs? Oh, yeah.
It was a tornado.
Or the tornado or whatever, yeah. But, yeah, that's where I'm at now, man. They remember the food experience more than they remember the weather outside.
I remember, and it's still one of the funniest things that he did. I don't know what you did, but you tried to make sausages. Grandpa was here, and they all were bad. You hated every single one of them. You threw all of it in the trash.
Oh!
You just got done cooking it, and then you got mad, and you told me, "Cub, let's get in the car." And we went to the food line. We got frozen pizza. Yeah. So we had got some. So my dad was in. It was one of the early times, and I was trying to make sausage, and I made sausage links and everything, and I fired up. I was using a new to me kind of charcoal and briquettes, and I think it was Royal Oak briquettes. They were on sale or something, or I just thought I'd try them or whatever. And it gave off such an acrid smoke flavor that, I had clean smoke and it was burning good, but it was just so nasty. I bit into it and I was like, dang it. And this was like the last night my dad was in town and I was trying to show off, and it came out absolutely like you burped and it was like smoke. It was bad. And I got mad and threw away about a few pounds of sausage and that I spent all this time on, and did not the rest of that charcoal I think I used for a Dutch oven. Like I did not even want to use it for that, but because the Dutch oven doesn't give you doesn't get any of that smoke flavor, then it was okay. But yeah, didn't like that. And that was I think the last time that I've gone to cheap charcoal. Since then, I stick with my Kingsford Blue, the Cowboy lump, Royal Oak lump, and B&B was really good. Don't mind smoking below zero. As nice as warm weather. Really, yeah. The standing outside is what gets you. And to be honest, my drums run fantastic when it's cold out. I have no issues at all cooking in cold weather. The high winds, on the Weber kettle can get a little weird just because it blows up the intake. But was that supposed to be funny?
No.
Okay.
It wasn't supposed to be, but a 12-year-old blowing up your intake is kind of funny. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's just because of the way I got the kettle set up now. If I added the fan system to it, then I wouldn't have that problem, which is true. But that's what I would use the drums for. So, standing there grilling though, no way. Yep. I was over at a buddy's house, and they wanted to cook some burgers on the Blackstone. And I was like, yeah, okay. Cool. We took over some sides, and he has the Blackstone, and he says, well, here, Master Chef. And I was like, nope. But I got handed the tongs and the spatula, so, it was an honor to cook for somebody in their house using their stuff. And it was like, I don't know, 13. Or no, it wasn't 13. It was like 30 degrees out. The other guy, there was 3 of us there. The one guy was bundled up so tight you thought he was in Alaska. I'm standing there in a long sleeve shirt, just, let's do it. And it was just, and the one guy's from Pittsburgh, and he was bundled up so tight. I said, it ain't that bad, man. But so anyway, this is going to take forever. So let me start up another. I mean, my onions are going to get as grilled as I want in a timely manner, because I don't know how long this frittata is going to take. But these are sauteed, so they're not done. Well, I was like, what the heck's going on? I probably should have started those earlier. Snow boots, unless you're a foot taller man. 12 inches of snow. Yeah, I don't even have, like, the wife was like, hey, we need to take the dog for a walk. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't even have anything but Crocs and tennis shoes. So I'd have to go get a new pair of shoes. Yeah, the pipes froze last night. Yeah. I imagine, man. I mean, it was dropping down to single digit. It was supposed to be like 8 degrees this morning, not counting the wind chill. So, all right. Maybe I should move these to another pan. What do you think? Your snow boots dry rotted? Yeah. See, I used to have, what's up, Honey Badger? I used to have like a pair of rubber boots that I'd wear, and they were calf length, but it got to where, like, every time I wore them, it was just to cut grass. So my dog hasn't been on a walk in 2 weeks. Ooh. Yeah, our new dog, she goes, we put her out, we have to drag her. Like, if she thinks we're going for a walk, she's okay. But otherwise, you have to drag her. So let's see.
Dogs are messy.
So let's see. I know, Charlie, we're 20 minutes in. I'm only halfway cooked my onions. We're getting some color though. So let me get this going back here. Let's throw in a Wagner. Throw in a little Wagner here. Move this.
Do you know how to make a frittata?
Well, we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. Because
turn out like the holidays.
No, it won't be a disaster like the holidays. But what I did figure out, though, is growing up, basically a frittata is an oven-baked omelet. I could be wrong, but that's the way I look at it. An oven-baked omelet. So growing up, you know, if you overcooked an omelet, then it was like basically a frittata. And, you know, I mean, that was just regular cooking for me. I didn't know no different, you know. And we were watching, what was it? No, the one where they had the basket.
Chop.
Yes. And somebody was like, "Oh, make a frittata out of it," and I was like, "What is a frittata?" Huh?
Apparently you didn't.
Yeah, we did. They weren't called frittatas; they were called breakfast.
I made them. I said, "What is this?" I said, "It's a frittata."
Oh, you made them.
Yes.
Must not have been memorable. Oh!
You got a side eye for mom and dog.
I know. The dog too?
The dog too.
The dog side-eyed me?
Yeah.
See, now I'm starting to get there. Once I get the other pan going, now I'm really getting there.
You know what's creepy, Dad?
Clowns.
No. The mold of my teeth. Like gray mold.
Had to shovel a spot in the backyard for the dog. Been waiting for dog snowshoes. Yeah, Scotty, barbecuing in the snow. I guess it's because I'm just, I don't know, older. Like, you don't need the wow factor for me. Like, I don't need that. And then nobody really says, "Oh, man, it's a snowstorm. You're going to be doing this." You have to remind them that you were the one cooking in the snow. So then it turns into bragging almost. And let's see. So what do I want to put in this one? I do got a crisp.
Eggs.
I got to crisp up my bacon. I had so last night I had got some bacon out and fired it up and cooked it in the microwave with the what's that thing? Bacon Wizard. My Bacon Wizard thing. Now in the original thing they didn't put bacon in it. But this is mine. So let's get this frying up a little bit more. Then I'll add my tomatoes. My onions are still going. All the cook kids fired up in the grills during tornadoes, hurricanes, blizzards. If you don't, you're a loser. I wonder if Rusty had the Silver Moon boots when he was a kid. You mean like the ones where you walk in that have the trampoline in them? I don't know. Those are the moon boots you're talking about? Huh? Oh, snow boots are called moon boots. No. But I do know that I saw a lady the other day wearing the big fuzzy boots. They started at her knees. They went down and they had the hair, so when it walked, it was like she had two collies strapped to her legs.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, I laughed, as you can imagine. I just want to crisp this up before I throw the tomatoes in there. Well, show the people. Show the people right there.
Those are like moon boots. I don't know if you can see them. They're like when your kid had those.
Okay.
Moon boots.
Okay, I didn't.
So, Dad, guess what your wife did last night that she's going to be in pain for today? She lifted up off the couch. She was laying on the couch on her stomach, okay? She goes to get up. uses both arms at an angle degree to try to push herself up.
Well, this snow, I mean, I'm telling you, she's been outside more since it started snowing than she has in 4 months. I'm just saying. And by outside, I mean not just out of the house, but in the backyard. Like willingly walking outside without having to go to get the mail. Okay, so that crisp up just fine. That's all right there.
And she got her nails done.
Yeah, your nails.
And I got Mom's nails done for her for Valentine's Day.
You want to show them off on? Rusty did have the moon boots. The puffy moon boots. Wish he could post pictures on the chat. Napoleon Dynamite. Are you talking, Rusty? You talking about the pictures of your boots? All right, let me grab move this. Let's see. So Kay had actually called last night. Now this I didn't think was a thing because we never did it growing up. Now Rusty knows all about it. The snow cream. So Kay calls last night wanting a recipe for snow cream. Now I didn't hear nothing about that until we moved south. That was not something that we did in my house. I mean, we did a lot of things in the snow, but turning it into ice cream was not one of them. All about puppies, rainbows, and gumdrops. So now I want to, in this bacon grease, I'm going to throw in some sliced cherry tomatoes. Just kind of roast up. Okay. We're getting somewhere. I'm going to kind of pan fry them to roast them up. A little salt action. A little pepper action. Then I'm going to open up my can of pink salmon. So did anybody else do snow cream? That's not something that we ever did. So I couldn't really help Tay, and Mama said, look on Pinterest, kid. I don't know if she made it. But she had sent all kinds of pictures of her out in the snow, and she was having a grand old time. I'm thinking one can's going to be fine. I should drain it, but oh, that's flatter than ever. The water coming out of there, the tomato juice. I'm getting some good. Let's drink some of that liquid out of there. Potential of Jack McAfee and what? Belize. John McAfee, I think Belize sounds good. Minnesota's not. You know, I don't know about Minnesota, man. They're all the crap they got going on right now. I don't know that I want to go to Minnesota. Ooh, look at that. What do you think of that? Does that look roasted? It's popping all over the place. That's what the cool kids say. It's popping.
No.
No?
No.
The kids don't say that no more?
No.
What do they say?
I don't know, but not that.
Okay. Okay, so now I think I'm going to get my eggs ready. Let me remove this. Let me cut this off because I don't think I need that. Yeah. Let me remove these. Remove these for right now because I got to move some of my onions out. Now, I don't need that many onions. I'm not doing an onion pie, which would be really cool. I'm not doing the onion pie yet. We'll reach over here, add a little bit of that, add that grease to this, set it back there. Let's wipe up over here, because I got grease everywhere. All right. And then take this, while it's still hot, and then the whole premise of this is one, using the residual heat from the iron here, just to heat this up a little bit. Kind of an afterthought, but that'll heat that up a little bit. And let's do some black pepper. Okay. Now my onions are really starting to go. Look at those. Okay. So while these are going, I'm also going to get some eggs ready. Let's see. No, I don't know Jack McAfee. So, anybody binge watching any shows lately?
Bones.
Yeah, Cub's been watching this show, Bones. Talk about it, Cubbo.
There's 7 seasons. I'm on season 5.
What's it about?
Murder. Anthropologist works with FBI to solve murders.
So it's they discover the murder, and then they go through all the different
like bones and bugs and go figure out where they were killed and how.
scientific stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of scientific stuff.
Hmm.
Okay.
They're on season 5. There's only 7 seasons.
And it's not bad. I'm adding a little heavy whipping cream. It's really not bad of a show.
Dad gotten into it.
Somewhat, yeah. Like I'm not a There's certain episodes I can't watch, but for the most part, though, it's really good. It's pretty good. It's not like binge worthy like oh, what was that one? Criminal Minds.
Mm.
Well, I was going to use my stick blender, but I don't have an outlet handy because our outlets are all used up, or I can't get to them. So let's use Grandma's whisk. Bones was decent, Charlie said. Yeah, I kind of like the bones.
And I like the new season of Law and Order Special Victims Unit. The new season, like the season for this year, is so far so good.
Okay, so I got 4 eggs, a little bit of heavy whipping cream. Okay, set this over here. Let me get some of. Let me move my. I could probably just take about half of the. I could probably make 2 frittatas. Nobody else wants it though. Do you guys want any? Huh?
I don't know.
Okay.
No,
I know Cub doesn't.
You don't like it.
I don't like the potatoes. I don't like the eggs or the peppers or tomatoes or onions.
There we go. Look at that.
I like cheese and bacon.
Okay. So then I'll. Ooh, that's hot. So then we got some of the crispy bits here going in. Now I don't know how long this is going to take to cook. I'm not that. I'm not that well versed in frittatas.
Just potatoes?
Huh?
What?
I'm not that well versed in frittatas to know how long it's going to take to bake. We'll spread these throughout. A little roasted tomato action. I'm hoping this turns out. Yeah. I was going to use the bacon as a garnish, but let's just get it in there. Okay. Mama's looking at me like you're being silly. I can feel the eyes in the back of my head. And I'm not doing the frittata right.
Is she doing the frittata right now? You bake it now.
Well, I'm going to. I haven't even added my eggs yet, baby.
Thought you were gonna make 2.
Well, I have to make more eggs. I have to do more eggs. And now, into the oven.
It's gonna be hot.
I know. That's why I've got my handy dandy naked and oiled. Put that in there. So did I make a frittata, guys? Is that how you would do it?
They don't even know.
Huh?
Said they don't even know.
Well, Charlie's more well versed in frittatas than I am. Just because he's a smart fella and he makes this kind of fancy stuff. I have a hard time making stuff I can't spell.
No, I was looking at what the difference was between a quiche and a frittata.
A shell, a pie shell.
A quiche is egg custard tart baked in a crust. The frittata, and it's French. A frittata is Italian, crustless, and an open-faced omelet cooked in a skillet. So the inside part's about the same. It's just the quiche uses more cream.
Oh, okay. So it's more custardy like.
Yes.
Okay. So then what I did would be considered a frittata.
Yes, because you didn't use as much cream. If you would have used more cream, it would have been like a crustless quiche.
Okay.
That's the only crust, and the amount of cream is the difference.
Crust and cream.
Yep.
Say that 5 times fast, Dad.
Well, I think that was Tom's nickname in high school. Oh! Tony Smith, what's going on? Started watching The Rip. Is that with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck?
What?
The Rip.
I don't know.
Y'all saw that?
Dad.
Y'all didn't see that. Come on, really? Because it looks kind of good, but I absolutely do not like Ben Affleck as an actor.
Why?
I just have never liked him. In anything he's done as a starring role, I've not liked it. When he was the only movie that I think he did decent in, he was not the star of, but he was with it was it Armageddon?
Yeah, he was in Armageddon.
That was the one that I think he did decent in, but he wasn't the star role. He was a supporting actor. So him as Batman was terrible. Yeah, I'm just not I don't think he's that good of an actor, but that's my opinion. And
That's my opinion.
yeah. So somehow I knew you were going to say that. Yeah. And it's like George Clooney's another one. I'm not a big fan of him either.
Why?
I don't know. Just something about him I'm not a big fan of. I don't know.
It's over Foxness.
No, I think it was when he played Batman, that was a train wreck too.
Basically, what I'm getting at is if they can't play the superhero like you want them to, you don't like them.
Yes.
Yes. So is that wrong?
Yes.
I tend to disagree, but it's
Because
okay.
then that's basically you judging them off of one thing.
Well,
Which
so
we're not
in
supposed to judge.
the Batman Forever, no, but I can critique what I liked and didn't like. What I didn't like about Batman Forever was they had too many big names and the storyline suffered. And that's a fact. That's not just me saying anything. Let's put a little bit of Uncle Steve's SPG in this one. We're going to see if we can do somewhat of an overcooked omelet frittata thing on the stovetop. I know then it's not a frittata. Okay, so I'll stick it in the oven, Mama.
Said nothing.
I know, but I can feel.
I'm not even looking at you.
I can feel it in the back of my head.
Okay.
I'm going to cook this anyway. So, the way that I want, what I really, really want. Boom, boom. He's good in this. At least I think so. Okay. So is this kind of like that, what was it, The Rock and the one kid, the Spider-Man? Is it kind of like that? What was his name? Tom Holland? No, that wasn't. That's a different one. Tom Holland was in Uncharted. I'm thinking, who was it Ryan Reynolds that was in with The Rock, and they were thieves, like stealing something, paintings or something? Could have been Michael Keaton playing Batman. Yeah, I saw a meme the other day, and it made me go, "What?" It had the picture. It started off with the guy from, what was it? Meet the Faulkners, where he says you can milk anything with nipples, and then it shows Michael Keaton and Batman. And says, "Can you milk me?" And it has his nipples on his suit. Just finished the Righteous Gemstones episode of Vice Principals Left to Watch. I've not even heard of those. It's a tense cop movie. Okay, because this one that you're talking about is they're both cops, but they try to plan a heist, right? Like they're highly decorated cops. I think I've seen the previews for it. I just haven't watched it. I'm not sure what to think of it.
If you only pick what you watch by the picture on the screen.
A lot of times, yes.
And that's why you haven't seen any of these things.
Yes. And I pick like whatever nostalgic. Like I watched Terminator 1 the other day. Yeah. How many people could say they've seen that in the 2000s? Oh, excuse me. In the 2020s. The other one that you keep telling me to watch, honey, is The Bear.
Well, I've never seen The Bear. Somebody else said you should watch The Bear.
Yep.
And I just remind you that you might enjoy it because they've picked out good shows for you thus far.
Yeah. And so I haven't watched that one, but that was it Maddie Matheson is the creator of that. I didn't know that. Which I'm not a big Maddie Matheson fan either. Imagine that. But I respect, everything he's done and all that, and the his accomplishments. Just like watching his YouTube videos is sometimes just ain't me, but he's got something that people like, so that's what works. That's why he's got millions of followers and I don't. But he was on. I started watching. What's that barbecue show? Barbecue Showdown? Was that it?
I don't know.
Barbecue Showdown. I'd say the latest season. It had Kent Rollins in it. The Bear is good, but it stresses me out watching it. I can do no more than 2 or 3 episodes at a time. Okay. I'll keep that in mind because that's about my attention span. About an episode, maybe 2, and then I've got to go get up and do something. Where was I at? Oh, so I was watching this this Barbecue Showdown. It's Food Network. And one of the ladies on there, Stacy Jett, she's out of Kentucky, and I was on Instagram years ago, back in 2016 through 18, 19, when I was really barbecuing, trying to get a name, thinking I was going to do food truck and all this stuff, where I needed the exposure to brag, but I was following her and chit chatting with her on Instagram, because she was trying to get her catering business up and going and doing stuff. So it was kind of interesting. I'm like, hey, I've chatted with her, and she's on this show, so it's kind of neat. But so I didn't finish it yet, and some of the stuff they were cooking, I mean, I don't know about duck legs. I've cooked the whole duck, not just the wings or the legs. Smoking bears should watch the bear. I think I'm probably start watching it at some point soon, because there's a few shows that I watch, and then there's YouTube that I watch, and there's a lot of times where neither one of them are interesting. Like the shows aren't on, or I've already watched them, and the YouTube, there's the people that I really watch haven't uploaded yet because it's not their upload day. So there's times where I'm bored, but I do have Cub got me this book, and my reading is slow, but it's an Ozzy Osbourne. It's the book that came out right before or right after he died. It's like his, I don't want to say memoirs, but it's it talks about everything. Well, there's Rex. You see the puppy? There's Rex. Hi, Rex. But he's talking about how he got started, talking about his drug addiction, the kids, breaking bones and in and out of the hospital, and how the hospital didn't really help him out. They gave him more drugs, which got him hooked on back into the alcohol, and being a struggling alcoholic and stuff. And hey, I can relate to that. So it's really cool because he talks about like Ozfest and stuff like that, and I remember a lot of that stuff. So it's kind of neat. How many streaming services? I have 3 or 4 that I really use. YouTube, Disney Plus, and HBO Max. And then we have like Peacock,
Peacock,
Netflix, yeah. So we've got a few, but I don't really use a lot of them. Netflix is kind of hit and miss. Ooh, that's sticking bad. But should have made her scrambled. Look at that. I'm just going to scramble it because it didn't have enough grease in it, I guess. That's all right. We'll add a little bit more and get it going. It happens. Sticking happens, doesn't it, babe?
Mm-hmm.
It happens. Too high heat, and I should have cut the heat down. Too high heat, do that every time. I had it on medium, so it's probably about 3 1/4. Let's see. But oh well, it happens. That should be my meme. Sticking happens. Like, remember I did the one where I had the burnt biscuits, and I was like, it happens. Yeah. It happens. But I could also show you how to clean it, I reckon. Yeah, let me do that. Let me pull this off. And then I'll do that. Got a few tomatoes over here. Let's do that. And then I'll get a picture of it. Say, it happens. The only thing is, why did it happen? Well, I had my heat too high. That's all it was. Plenty of fat, just the heat was too high. Okay. Now, oh no, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Let me see here. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Get a little bit of water. Oh no! You added water to your cast iron. You're gonna what? So it's basically deglazing the pan. We'll see. Oh boy, did that rise! I don't know if it's done yet. Boy, did it rise. Okay. So we're gonna run like this. Let me see. You want something kind of firm. So like this spatula is not firm enough. I don't really have, what do I have over here? I have a wooden spatula. Let's go with that. Simple wooden spatula. Handle's hot. Look at that. Pulling right up. Can you hear the lap? Can you hear the dog? He's over here, right at my feet. But yeah, just bring it. The hot water, basically you're deglazing the pan is what it is. And then you're letting the hot water get up underneath there. Pull up all that, I'd say fond, but it's not, all the burnt bits. Look. That's the sugars from the bacon. Yeah. And there we go. There we go. Now you can, let this cool down and then run it. Dump this out. Let it cool down and run it through, run your chain mail or whatever through it. But there. You just got like the little fine stuff. Yep. That's that. So let me dump this. No, I didn't dump it all down the drain. I put it into the Fire King thing that I had the eggs in. Now I added just a little bit more water because we got all this bits here. Take your brush. Ooh, hot, still hot. And you can use a chain mail. That's fine. Most of y'all already know all this. But for the one or two that don't, hey, your skillet is not ruined. I watched a fella yesterday. It made me kind of go, whatever. So he was answering the age-old question: if I grind my skillet, is it better than buying a premium skillet? And so what he did was he bought a large skillet, showed it, cooked on it. Okay, let me dump this. Add a little bit more water. You see it's cleaned up. I mean, it's good. Now what I would say is, like, you got little bits here. You can get in a little bit there. Yep, a little bits up in here. All right. Now I'm going to say, let's go dump that. Set it down here. I'm going to come in with a paper towel. And just use your finger. Rub her down. Rubber down, rubber ducky. You're going. So anyway, I was watching this guy. He said, well, if you have a $20 large skillet, there. What do you think of that? Now, where is my shoot? So I have a rag here soaked with oil. I'm just gonna pull the. So I have it. I need to get a new one, but this is soaked with oil from all the seasonings and stuff I've been doing for way too long. So just kind of let it sit and let some of that oils come out of there. Would be good. So yeah, the guy took his $20 skillet, bought a sander because he didn't have a sander, and then bought 80 grit sandpaper and I think he said 180 or something like that. So he bought that and said, okay, well now you have a $20 skillet. You just bought the sander, 10W30 oil. Actually, this is a mix of fuzzy wax, cast iron cure, canola oil, a little bit of everything. I've used this for quite a long time. Bacon grease. Here. See? And that's how easy it is to clean your skillet. And crank the heat back up a little bit so it sets. But yeah. Let me move this off to the side. And let's check. Oh, yes, it's beautiful. Oh. You think of that? So yeah, back to the story. There. My skillet is done. That easy. Cut that off. Okay, so the guy bought a skillet. Then he had to go buy a sander for like $60. The sandpaper discs, he bought 2 packs, and they were like $10 each. So you're in another $70, $80, right? And then he says, now I got to take the time to sand it. So he sanded it down for 10 minutes and then washed it and then did a cook. Unseasoned. And showed how well just knocking down the tops were, the burrs, and how productive that was. Great idea. Well, then he said, okay, well, and I've done that, but I don't use an orbital sander. I use my hand, and I have knocked down the burrs really quick, washed it, and gone on, and it's been fantastic. But he was trying to get this smooth. I mean, he was trying to get polished smooth. So then he goes out and he says, okay, well, now I'm going to spend about 3.5 hours and go through all the sanding discs that I have. And then he had to buy the polished piece to go into the drill, the polished flapper, and the compounds to get it down to a mirror finish. And I mean, he did, but then he's like, okay, well, now I've got the cost of the sander, the cost of the sanding discs, the cost of the bit for the drill, the polisher, and the cost of the compounds. He said, so you're in a couple $100, plus you've got about 4 or 5 hours wrapped up into the whole thing, plus the skillet. Where's your savings, right? And that was kind of like the whole premise of the thing was, is it worth it, to go buy, he was looking at the Yeti skillet, it was or something like that, or spend the money on a vintage Griswold or something like that, or basically create that same finish in a $20 skillet. And by the time you factor it up, depending on what your time's worth, I mean, if you go to the job and they say, hey, your job, is worth $27 an hour, hypothetically, be awesome. Then at $27 an hour now, times 3, you're in what, $90 on top of that. So yeah, you start weighing it out, and it's like, well, okay, I see what he's saying. But so let me move that back over here. So our frittata, if you see, has pulled away. Fantastic. That is a good sign. That tells me that it's cooked all the way through. Tells me it's ready to come out. Now, will it stick? I have no idea. It looks like parts of it will. Yeah, it looks like parts of it will. Maybe. Just got to get it loosened up. I should probably use a spatula, but we'll see. Now, I could flip it out onto the cutting board or get a plate. Do I have a plate? I do have a plate. Do you like the blue? That's what we'll go with. Yes, it's an IKEA plate. Now this is where you have to do the... You hear that? It's already dropped. Not bad, not bad. Got a little bit, but I'll take that. Y'all saw how we cleaned that. And then this is our frittata. What do you think of that? What do y'all think of that? Look all right? Sounds like overkill. The savings is with the next skillet. He has all the tools and doesn't need to spend the money again. Yes, I agree that is where his savings would be. But are you going to go through that again? You know, if you're sitting with he was sitting with a Griswold on the side, and then he had this lodge. So are you going to go through that process again? You know, so it's a question, you know, like I wouldn't do it. I would just take the sandpaper and lightly go over it with my hand just to knock down any of the big edges from the seasoning. I mean, it's y'all know how they season it. They have the hot iron and they spray vegetable oil, canola oil, and that's what gets baked on. So yeah, it's going to have the little unevenness from an aerosol can. I mean, you see it when you spray your griddle with, you know, the can spray. Same thing. You get that little bit of unevenness, little air bubbles, whatever. So you can just come back and knock that down with the sandpaper, you know, an 80 grit, whatever, just real lightly. Let the paper do the work and not dig in. And I don't use the orbital at all. But so Charlie says it looks good. Thank you. Now I've got hot sauce to put on it. I think I have some. Let me see. Basil. This is my chopped parsley. Chopped parsley here. Let's zhuzh it up so it doesn't look all brown. Okay. You want a little more cheese on there, maybe? Okay. Now I know my wife doesn't want hot sauce on there. Do you?
No, I don't need hot sauce like you do.
So that's that. So let me cut this camera off so I can get a couple snappy snaps, and then I'll move it over to here. My Rex is going crazy.
Remy's right here.
Yep. So the dogs are right next to us, thinking they're getting some of this. But what they don't know. All right. So there's that. So be able to slide this over. And yeah, I know my onions took longer than I thought they would. Okay, let me cut the wife a piece and then go from there. Let's see if I can do the whole broken-hearted thing. Oh, come on. Oh, check that out. Oh, look at that. Oh, I know, I'm silly. Look at You got my broken heart.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, now I'm going to add a little bit of Texas Pete's. Make my heart bleed a little. Blub, 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 blub. Yep, the lab's going crazy over here in Rexy. Get a bite here in the middle that has the onions and a tomato. Ooh, a couple tomatoes. Think of that for a bite. Mmm.
I know, right? You did good.
I did good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not.
Not that good?
No.
Not dance-worthy good?
No.
Well, anyway, cheers. So I did get a lot of the canned salmon. So I think a little bit of liquid smoke may have helped that out. But no, I'm pleasantly surprised. It is not better than First Watch, but
Are we cheaper than First Watches?
yes. Yep, considering we had everything but the tomatoes, and so
Thanks.
yeah. All right. So you approve?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. I think the onions needed to caramelize a bit more, just because I really like that flavor. Mm. Okay. Well, a cast iron for you is always a hobby, so spending more makes sense. People will spend bucks on hobbies. That is true. But if it come down to like, oh, I need to cut that off. That's still on. If it come down to trying to recreate that to get to what I want, yes, I would spend the money. If I didn't have the stuff, I would slowly accrue it or borrow it as I went along. But I have a bunch of the tools, so that wouldn't be that crazy of an idea to sit out there for 3 hours and do it, or I would find a way to do it in less time. But I have spent a lot of time on dumber stuff. When I built my first UDS, I was inside of the drum for 6 to 8 hours grinding it out with a drill to get it down to bare metal, the whole inside of a 55-gallon drum. So, yeah. But when you're looking at the cost, if I had nothing to get to there, or just a cheap trick is the light sandpaper to simulate like 10 years of constant use. I've got skillets I've never done anything with and just used, and they are as smooth as that Wagner. I mean, it's just use. And yes, this let me get this. This stuff happens. It happens. But it's how you fix it. Put a little water in, heat it back up. Dude, that's a deglazing, and it's fine. The heart-shaped skillet is handy. Yep. I wanted to get to it before you did, James. try to use my heart-shaped skillet before you did. Got a few more weeks for Valentine's Day, so. But all right, well, I'm gonna get out of here. Honey Badger's coming up at 11 o'clock, so y'all tune in to him, and we'll see you guys on the next one. You want to send us out of here, babe?
No.
Okay. Well, remember, there's 2 rules in cooking. Did you have fun? Did it taste good? Rock on. Y'all are awesome. Let's be careful out there.